Hi there and welcome to the second ever episode of the Bounty Huntard. Tonight we're going to be looking at the boarding party, so grab yourself 3 friends and head over to the White Nova.
Let's not waste any more time.
Right, so this instance is pretty straightforward. There are 3 bosses in it. It's about level 32 to 38, I think. It's got quite a broad range. There are 3 main bosses and then there are 3 mini bosses, and the trash isn't particularly difficult in here at all. There's quite a lot of additional quests. This one, for example, you have to click on these relays. They're not particularly hidden during your run, so you should be able to see them. Just look out for them, because obviously it's bonus XP, so who wouldn't want that? So the first boss in here is the generic acronym Juggernaut. He has 56k HP, and it's quite a mobile fight, so you know, it's a pretty enjoyable one. He drops these crosshairs on the floor, which you can see there, which do AoE damage. So basically if you see one, move out of it. And then he'll charge himself from these generators occasionally, and when he does that, you basically have to make sure that you're not between him and a generator like I am there, almost. Because if you're stuck in that lightning, then you take damage. He also drops a few more of those AoE abilities whilst he's charging from the generators, so you need to watch out for that. Rope Flung's his only other ability, and all he does is he just grabs a random member of your party and throws them across the room. It doesn't do any damage, all it does is interrupt your cast. Obviously this isn't too much to worry about. The only person this really affects is the healer, and it's of no real consequence at this level. Maybe the heroic version, it could potentially wipe you if you miss a heal, but we'll have to see, I suppose. Other than that, it's a pretty straightforward fight. It's quite an enjoyable one. Quite a fun fight for this early on in an instance, I think. And definitely one of the funner ones in comparison to some of the ones later. So before you get to the second boss, you'll meet 3 mini-bosses. 2 of them are essentially just like glorified mob packs, so you won't have to worry about them too much. The only one that's of any real consequence is this one, which is a Jedi Knight with 2 healers. And what you've got to do is either CC both the healers and nuke the boss, so they don't heal him up, obviously, or you can CC one of the healers if you don't have that much CC in your group, and then nuke the other healer and then kill him. They do heal for quite a lot, so it is advisable to make sure that the healers are out the way before you tackle the boss, either crowd controlled or killed. Either way, it doesn't really matter. It's still quite straightforward, but it could take you a little while if you don't really think about this beforehand, I suppose. So to get to the second boss, after you kill this trash pack, which I'll show you where it is on the map in a second, you'll see there's a path on the right. All you have to do is follow the path down. There's a few trash mobs on the way down there, and then you get to the second boss, which is also the most enjoyable in the instance, I think. There you go, that's where it is on the map. So the second boss is Chief Engineer Kells, which is a really fun fight. He comes with 2 adds, and they can't be crowd controlled, so you have to kill them. It's also important that you kill them first, because if you kill the boss straight away without worrying about the adds, they self-destruct when he dies, and it wipes you, like it just kills you flat out. It does so much damage. He also randomly puts a shield on one of the adds and himself, so what you've got to do is make sure that you just change between DPSing either add until they're both down, because otherwise you're just going to waste time. You don't obviously have to do that, but it's going to save you time in the long run. Another thing is, if you see these 4 generators around the room, there'll be an emote occasionally which tells you that one of them's charging up, and what you've got to do is just move away from that part of the room so you don't take damage from it. As you can see, my team's not the best at avoiding that, but what can you do? It's a pickup group and we killed him, so it doesn't really matter, does it? I'm sure that in a heroic version, though, that'd be a lot more punishing to a group, so it's better just at a lower level to just get used to doing the mechanics right, I suppose, and not being lazy with it. Because otherwise you might just frustrate people when you get to level 50. But ultimately that's it, it's just rinse and repeat of those tactics, move out the way, focus down the ads, and then you've killed him, and you can loot him. Get yourself some nice rare items. So the final boss in Boarding Party is a bit of a shit, to be honest. His name's Commander Jorland, and he comes with 2 ads. None of them can be crowd controlled, and even though they only have not that much health each, their effective health is a lot higher. You want to focus down the medical officer first, because he throws out heals, and obviously that's just irritating. And then you want to focus down the other ad because he shields the boss, and then you want to eventually kill Jorland. The reason why it's hard though is purely because their effective health, because of the 2 abilities, just make the fight last for so much longer, and they hit quite hard, so it can be quite difficult to heal. And they, I think the aggro table's quite dodgy on this fight still, because everyone just seems to take damage constantly. I believe that the main guy, Jorland, does a AoE ability actually, so you want your team to split up, because otherwise you're just going to take so much more damage than is necessary. Another thing to note is at the point when I filmed this video, this fight is, I believe, sort of bugged, in that if you pull the boss and you don't kill him the first time, his loot chest won't open for you. We were unfortunate enough for this to happen to us because someone on our team ninja pulled it when someone was AFK. So just make sure it doesn't happen to you, make sure that everyone's there before you start the fight and everyone knows what they're doing, because otherwise you're just going to be disappointed. At a lower level, I'm not too fussed about gear and things, so I wasn't too bothered. But it's obviously nice to get the reward for killing someone. It's quite a dull fight, to be honest, especially in comparison to the 2 bosses beforehand, which are quite like fun and mobile fights. And then this one's just a bit rubbish.
Maneuver 7, recharge! A few seconds more and this whole ship self-destructs. You'll never win. The Empire is doomed.
So that's it, that's the last boss down. No loot for us because of the ninja pull, but at least we can enjoy a little bit of lore porn to finish the video.
Area is secure. Get the tech team. Shut down the self-destruct.
Blast you. All of you, get off my bridge! Is this some great victory to you? Using a fleet to capture 1 ship?
You were going to a space station, the Foundry. I want to know its secrets.
You really don't understand us. I'm not telling you anything, and I'm not begging for the lives of my crew. I know about the massacres of the last war.
All boarding parties report success. Should we begin executions?
They fought, and they lost. No point keeping them alive.
Acknowledged.
Bloody work, but necessary. When the operation is complete, we'll broadcast the names and faces of the dead as a warning to the galaxy. More importantly, the cruiser is ours. Preparing it for the assault on the Foundry and its Jedi Master now.
I have completed my task then.
We need to make a few repairs and get a crew in place, but we'll be ready shortly. In the meantime, I offer congratulations and suggest you return to the flagship. Darth Malgus wants to speak to his strike force.
So that was Boarding Party. Thanks for watching again. If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to my channel or like the video or comment, whatever you want. Next week will be the Foundry, which is the best instance in the game up until this point by a long way, I'd say. It's really packed with lore, it has some great boss fights, and it's very enjoyable, so I advise you to watch it. Please follow me on Twitter at Mecha underscore gaming, or visit my website www.mechagaming.co.uk. Until next time, thanks for watching.